Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I want to welcome you guys to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people, and also Dr. Boyce Daily Stock Market. That's my Spotify podcast, where I do daily updates on the stock market. So if you go to Spotify and look up my name, Boyce Watkins, you'll find a couple of podcasts I have there, and I hope you'll go there and check us out. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about some of what's happening with the Trump DEI stuff. I heard a poor young lady who works for the government. She hit me up and she was telling me about how tough things have gotten. I think that her office got one of those orders to come back to the office and stuff like that. Because as you know, when Trump got elected, he really went gangbusters with a lot of the executive orders and things like that. And I just listened. And this poor lady, she's a single woman and she's in her 50s. And I don't know if there's a lot of retirement savings. I don't know if there's a lot of investments and assets. I know that there's no one else there to depend on financially. And it really got me thinking. It really got me thinking about something that I really wanted to address with you guys. I don't know. I just kind of wanted to come in really quick and kind of give some thoughts and perspectives on this to kind of give you a point of view. Now, if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll give you a stock that I just bought. I just bought some shares of a company that I like. Again, this is not investing advice, but as you guys know, I like to tell you guys what I'm invested in to give you an opportunity if you want to participate. It's not me telling you what to do or anything. It's just me letting you know what I'm buying because I like to buy stock for my family all the time. And so anyway, if you want to learn more about the stock market, I wrote my dissertation on it. That's what my doctorate's in. So feel free to go to drboystockmarket.com. That's drboystockmarket.com. So let's talk about this DEI thing. So let me tell you what was going on with this, this poor lady. So she works for the government. She's a single woman in her 50s. And basically the government told her that she had to come into the office. So they kind of freaked her out. I think she lives far away from the office. And she came in and it was crazy. I guess with Trump in his orders, he just basically threw out the order and didn't think about how it was going to be implemented. And she said when she got there weren't enough places to sit. They just weren't prepared to bring all those people into the office. It was really interesting. So anyway, she also was concerned because they were getting these memos from these outside emails, basically giving them all these orders about what to do and all these offers to quit their jobs and everything. And all this stuff is really real. I know a lot of you work for the government. Feel free to say something in the chat if you've seen something personal. I know I got a lot of friends in DC. We got a lot of supporters from all over the world. And I know a lot of you are going through it and dealing with it. And my heart goes out to you. And so one of the things that I was talking to my wife about today, and I was explaining this to our son, is I said, at times like this remind me of why in the Black Business School, I said from the very beginning, I said, I will never take money from corporations and we will never take money from the government. And the reason that we never took money from corporations or took money from the government is because it is not dependable. The minute that white folks change their minds and decide that they don't like you anymore, first thing they do is they cut the cord, they cut the strings, they cut the purse, they chop you off the nipple. Now, I was probably especially sensitive to this because, I don't know how many of y'all been Black your whole life. Anybody in here been Black your whole life? Give me a yes in the chat. All the Black folks in the room, say yes in the chat if you're Black and if you've been Black for your whole life. And if you're super Black, put super Black in the chat. I've been Black my whole life. I've been super Black my whole life. And I've been unapologetically Black my whole life. And the thing about being Black, super Black, and unapologetically Black is that job comes with hazard pay. You need hazard pay for that job. It's not for the faint of heart. It's hard. It's really hard. It's really hard to be committed to Blackness because selling out is so much more profitable. Selling out is so much easier. It'd be so much easier if I was like, hey, this is the All Black National Convention brought to you by McDonald's. Or, hey, we're partnering with rapper Lil Moochie Mooch, and we're about to go on, Amazon just wrote us a big check, and now I'm going to be on CNN next week. It'll be so much easier to do stuff like that. But I never, ever, ever, ever wanted to do that because I know how these people can get. I know what these people do. I know that one day they will love you. One day they will dump you. One day they will kiss your ass. Next minute they're kicking your ass. And they've been doing this. This has been going on. This ain't nothing new. This is history, man. This is history. And also, I'll say I was probably sensitive to it also because during my doctoral study when I was at The Ohio State University, go Buckeyes, we won the championship. We whooped everybody's ass in the championship. So if you're a football fan, you know what I'm talking about. And when I was at Ohio State, I studied risk management in extreme detail. risk. There's a lot of financial theory behind risk management, and it made me. I studied under this guy named Renee Stoltz, and if you look him up, he's probably still there. He's probably the highest paid faculty member on the entire campus, or one of the highest, and he's one of the leading risk management experts on the planet. And what that really got me doing is I was proofreading his book on risk, and it really got me thinking about risk on a deep, deep level, on a deep, almost like multi-dimensional, subconscious level. Like I'm talking about playing like fifth dimensional chess and understanding what risk looks like and how we perceive it, how it works, the things that we should be afraid of, the things that we don't even know we should be afraid of, the known, the unknown unknowns, just all of that, right? And or the access to information and how that affects risk and how things can change on you in the drop of a hat. And it really made me think a lot about being Black. It made me think a lot about being Black, right? And I think that one of the things that we don't always know as Black people is how risky it is to be Black, because I truly believe, I don't know, how many of you think that being Black is risky? Give me a yes in the chat if you think that being Black in America is a risky venture. Give me a yes if you agree. Let's start there. Let's start with the basics. I don't want to talk too fast because I got my mind's racing. My ADHD is kicking in, and I was eager to have this conversation. That's why I'm literally doing. If you're listening live, you're like, "Why is this guy talking at 8:00 in the morning?" It's because that's what I do. Okay, so being Black in America is already risky. And what I never understood is, I said, if being Black is that risky, and we know how risky it is, why are we not prepared for the future? Why do we spend such little time really preparing our kids for that risk? Like, so here's what I mean. If you know that winter's coming, you're going to get a coat, you're going to build a shelter, you're going to find some warmth, you're going to get some firewood, you're going to get ready for winter, or because if you don't, you're going to freeze to death. So if we know our kids are going to be in a risky environment where there's going to be economic insecurity everywhere, threats everywhere, problems around every corner, then if I'm raising that kid, I'm getting them ready. I got their head on a swivel. I'm teaching them about economics. I'm teaching them how to start a business. I'm teaching them how to survive. I'm teaching them how to go get money. I'm teaching them how to avoid traps. I'm teaching them about how the world works. I'm getting them ready. And I see so many young Black kids that are just not ready. I just do, honestly. I see so many people that are like trained to be like sitting ducks. And it's a whole mix of issues, right? Maybe if you have a little boy who doesn't have a father in the house, his mother does her best, but maybe she didn't tell him the things that a man could tell him or something. I don't know. And it's not anybody's fault. I'm not blaming anybody. It is what it is. Just that kid doesn't have everything he needs for preparation. And I think it's a problem. I really do. And so I really don't know if we perceive risk in the way that we actually should, because this situation with Trump, this situation with them cutting all the DEI, this situation with them cutting all the corporate money, this situation with them cutting all them damn government jobs, this situation with them just suddenly coming in and wreaking holy hell on people's financial lives is exactly the kind of risk that I've always talked about. It's one of these things where I've always said, I don't really trust these. I don't trust the liberals or the conservatives. I don't dislike white people. I have white neighbors. They're very wonderful people, but not at any point would I ever depend on somebody who doesn't understand me to be the primary provider for me. Right. And again, I'm not saying that anybody who doesn't get this is stupid, because maybe I understand it because I became sensitive to risk from studying it so much. But I'm here to really share this with you so you can kind of understand what I'm seeing with all that's happening right now. Right now, you're seeing panic. You're just seeing people just freaking out. With the DEI's gone, the corporate money's gone, all the people that had these little flashy opportunities, like I got my black dolls in all the Walmarts across America. They're all worried now that Walmart's going to stop putting black dolls in the grocery store aisle. People, the heads, I know so many people that are heads of corporate diversity and stuff like that, or giving speeches at universities telling white people how to be less racist and doing anti-racism trainings and all that stuff is good. I'm not saying it's bad. I think it's fine. I like it. I think it's great. They need that stuff, right? But I never felt like that was stable, right? I never felt like that was safe. I felt like at some point, as Aaron Magruder from the Boondocks said, and I agree with him, he said, at some point, we're going to sort of lose that margin of grace that the world gives us. At some point, they're going to say, you know what, we're done. We're not interested in this anymore. And at that point, you're going to have to survive on your own. And that's why I've always told you from the very beginning, the Black Business School, we never, ever took corporate money. We never took government money. We've had teachers come in and teach on how to get government contracts. And I say, gosh, I hope you get one. I just don't want one. Dr. Boyce, you could do a government contract on this. No, I really don't, because money is a drug. You become addicted to money. So we get that government contract for $10 million. Next thing you know, we're operating on a bigger budget. Think about how many of y'all know organizations like there's organizations out here that I know. One organization, for example, after George Floyd died and everybody became generous with DEI, they tripled their budget. Wow, because suddenly all this money was flowing in. Suddenly DEI was like the most popular thing in the world. And this was not long ago. I mean, think about this, people. This was 3 years ago. This was 2021. So DEI is the most popular thing in the world. They tripled their budget, and then suddenly DEI is gone. Now they're kind of stuck. So again, I'm not making fun of anybody in that situation at all. So if you are in that situation, just know my heart's with you. I'm not at all ridiculing you at all. I'm just here to teach, and I hope that you're willing to hear me on this so we can understand this, so we can learn from these mistakes. Okay. So anyway, before I move on, do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. I do a free financial class every morning. That's my contribution to the world. So, and it's 100% free. Over 10,000 of you have signed up. Millions of you have watched the content. So if you want to come in the morning at 9 a.m., it's called Money in the Mornings Financial Consciousness Training. All you got to do is text the word morning, MORNING, to the number 87948. So text morning to 87948, or you can go to drboyceelevate.com, drboyceelevate.com. The URL's on the screen. All right. So here, so let's go through this real quick. So right now, Donald Trump is cutting everything. All the DEI is cut. Social support, public support for DEI is dropped. Corporations are no longer supporting DEI. A lot of the corporate money's gone. Everything else. A lot of people are struggling. I'm thinking about this particular case of the woman who has the government job, who's now kind of mortified, and for rightfully so, because this is her only stream of income. She doesn't have anybody else to depend on. She doesn't know what she's going to do. She's really kind of going through it, and I get it. So what I want to do is very quickly kind of go through some of the fundamentals of financial security that you should understand, because one of the things you have to understand is that, people have lost their interest in various topics like this in the past. This has happened before in America. I don't know if anybody knows the history of the Vietnam War. I learned a lot about the fall of Saigon. If you ever want to see something interesting, look at the fall of Saigon. Saigon was an example where the Vietnamese came to really depend on the Americans without realizing how fickle the Americans are. So the South Vietnamese depend on the Americans for military support. They depend on the Americans for financial support. They depend on the Americans for access to information, right? And what happened was basically the Americans just said, we're kind of tired. We're going to take our ball and go home. We don't want to do this anymore. And when they lost their will to provide the support that they were providing, they literally just walked away. They literally just left them there to die. They left them there with no support, no backup, no nothing. And those poor people were getting, like, there were men and women being shot in the street in front of their children. Like, literally, it was crazy. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And so the same thing happens, I think, in the Black community. We have the fall of Saigon every few years. The fall of Saigon, economically speaking, happens in the Black community on a regular basis because I don't think we've ever really learned how risky it is to be Black. We also haven't learned how risky it is financially, and what it means to manage risk financially. So let me give you some pointers on what it means to prepare financially. And let me know if you got kids. Give me a yes if you got kids or children or people in your family that you care about and you want them to understand what financial security looks like. Let me give you some basics. Number one, whenever you have one stream of income, you're in danger. So that means if you're a single mom with one job, you're in big trouble, right? A lot of us think that dating and relationships are just so I can find somebody cute to go have an orgasm with. That's what young people think dating and relationships are all about. I'm just keeping it raw, keeping it real. They think it's all about, I'm gonna date the cutest girl, I'm gonna date the tallest guy. He ain't got no swag. I'm gonna pop a balloon because he ain't tall enough. Like, just all this crazy crap. And they don't understand family is part of your economic survival. Your ability to get along with that man or that woman is going to have a huge impact on how your children are in terms of mental health and physical health, how safe they are, whether that child gets molested or not growing up, whether that child ends up in a secure, healthy environment, whether or not you are secure. When my mother passed away on Christmas Eve of 2024, my father took care of her until her last breath because she married a man that had certain value systems instilled in him. And they stuck with each other, even when both of them were less than perfect. They stuck with each other. They stuck with each other. They stuck with each other. So as a result, she had someone right there next to her when she died. A lot of people don't have anybody next to them when they die, because when you're young and cute and got it popping, you're cutting people off at the drop of a hat, because maybe you haven't healed, you haven't gotten the therapy, you don't know how to trust, you're scared of everything, you expect perfection, all these other things. And I can just tell you that if you expect perfection, you shouldn't even try relationships, because I hate to break it to you, but human beings are not perfect. So some people spend their whole lives looking for something that doesn't exist. They spend their whole lives looking for people that are perfect. And I can tell you, if you do that, I believe you're going to spend your whole life looking. But that's just my 2 cents. I'm not here to tell you what to do. Actually, my wife is a relationship expert. If you want to join, she's actually doing a Black Love Weekend. I don't know if a lot of people are paying attention, because it's not a twerking party and it's not a Sexy Red concert, but she's bringing together Black therapists who understand how to have healthy relationships, how to pick the right partner, how to make good decisions with your mental health. So she's bringing together all of her therapists. My wife is a PhD therapist. She trains other therapists how to get their license. That's how good she is. And she's doing the Black Love Weekend on Valentine's Day weekend. So if you go to theblackloveweekend.com, you can sign up for that. The URL's on the screen, theblackloveweekend.com. Second of all, here's another aspect of financial security. If you have one stream of income, you're in trouble. Being married, having a good partner, raising smart, healthy kids that can become financially productive at when they become adults is huge. A lot of people are going broke because they're taking care of their broke ass kids. Their kids are broke because their kids never learned how to be financially self-sufficient. Their kids can't be financially self-sufficient because the economy isn't giving jobs the way that it used to. The jobs don't pay enough. And also the kids don't understand how to save and invest or even start a business. So therefore, that becomes a drain on the family as well. So raising healthy kids that know how to manage money and make smart financial decisions makes a big difference. And I hope it's okay. I hope I don't sound arrogant, because my family's not perfect, but I'm going to use my mother as another example. When my mother died, Robin Watkins, that was her name. When she passed away, she was surrounded by 3 kids we were in our right mind. None of us owned crack. None of us struggling financially. All of us could get on an airplane to go see her. When she needed a $40,000 treatment, we pulled together the money. When she needed an in-house nurse, we got the money. My sister was a medical doctor who was right with her when she took her last breath, right next to my father. And all this was planned. This started in the 1980s. It started in the 1980s and 90s because when I was a crazy ass teenager, they could have gave up on me. My father, who wasn't my biological father, I don't know what happened to my biological father. I don't know if he died alone or not. But I do know that my father that raised me, he didn't have to raise me. He invested in me. He built me. He made me into the kind of man such that when he got older, I came through for him in a certain way. So the way you raise the kids has a huge impact on your financial security. Let me just let you all know this. Give me a yes if you know this or not. America is in the middle of a retirement crisis of epic proportions. Did y'all know that? How many of y'all know that the next big crisis in America is going to be a retirement crisis? I hope you know this. That is going to be huge. Right now, millions of people are not ready for retirement. They're not ready because they never learned the fundamentals of retirement. We live in a society that really pushes for instant gratification over delayed gratification. We live in a society that encourages spending over investing. We live in a society where people think it's not cool to invest your money or whatever. They think it's all about spending it and whatever. People like to brag about that. So now they don't have anything saved. They also don't have any family that can provide for them. They thought kids were just a pain in the ass. They hear all these stories. Oh, it costs $300,000 to raise a child. Well, that's a hell of an expense. That's a hell of an expense. $300,000. That's a hell of an expense. That means you got 5 kids. That's $1.5 million expense. How the hell are you gonna pay that? That's like the student loan from hell. $1.5 million expense. Oh my God. I wouldn't pay a $1.5 million expense to raise no kids, but you know what I would do? Y'all know what I would do? Oh, I would love to make a $1.5 million investment. Did y'all catch that? Do y'all see the difference? A $1.5 million expense is like what a rapper does in the Gucci store. Just takes money and blows it, flushes it down the toilet. A $1.5 million investment is a financial boomerang. That's money that goes out and comes back with friends. That's money that comes back and gives you what is called an ROI, return on investment. That is when you put money in and more money comes out. That is when you are developing a structural institutional framework that's allowing you to grow old gracefully instead of having to work at a Costco when you're 72 years old. So yes, so ultimately what I'm telling you is that your children, those of you who are raising your kids right, I love y'all for that. I appreciate you because you're saving the community. A lot of people out here ain't got time for the kids. They either too busy working, too busy twerking. I ain't got no interest in the kids. They think that they're just a burden, or they don't even want to take care of their kids. Making babies everywhere, having babies with any old guy, and next thing you know, these kids are filling up the penitentiaries and killing people and all kinds of stuff. So those of you that are raising your kids right, I want to thank you. Not only are you helping the community, but you're helping yourself. You're helping yourself. So your children are part of your retirement plan. What else? Let's talk about financial security in terms of income streams. Also, every Black child should know how to start a business by the age of 12. I don't know how many times white people have to lay us off for us to realize that they're not going to be a reliable source of employment for the Black community. I don't know how long Black wealth has to keep going down before we realize that our HBCUs, unfortunately, are doing us a huge disservice by training millions of our kids to become employees for white people. I'm not making fun of HBCUs. HBCUs are beautiful, wonderful, amazing. There's lots of excellent symbolism in terms of the teaching of Black history. The concerts and the football games are extraordinary, and the knowledge is great. The knowledge is excellent. But one area where the knowledge is lacking is in the powernomics space. You need to start teaching these damn kids how to survive financially in an economy that does not like them. If you got millions of Black youth that are growing up thinking that they're going out, they're looking at a Donald Trump in fear because they're hoping that they can go one day work for him. They look at Barron Trump. He's 18 years old. They're thinking maybe one day I can get a job working for Barron. Then guess what? You're training them for slavery. You're training them to be good servants. You're training them to believe that if I hold his balls up just well enough and rub his testicles nice and soft, he'll treat me nice. He won't kick me in the head because he's got all the power and I don't. I don't think that is a good strategy. I think that strategy has been a failure because, again, you see what happens when they decide to wreak havoc and they end up just pissing all over us because we get on the floor and they're stepping over our heads. And then we're just mad because we're getting peed on, but we don't stop for a second and say, maybe we should stop letting people doing economic R. Kelly on us and start actually planning so that we can stand up and actually own something. And that requires a whole different culture, requires a different mindset. It requires literally making it mandatory for every Black child to know how to start some sort of business, sell some sort of product, become some sort of investor at some point. Not everybody's selling shea butter and whatever else, like silly stuff, simple stuff. I'm talking about complex industries. Like, what does it mean to build an industry? What does that look like? What does it mean to raise the capital to start a chain of restaurants or a chain of even automobile manufacturers? I mean, I know that's a big one. That's a big one. That's hard to do. But literally stuff like that. I mean, think about this. You have a whole lot of wealthy Negroes on TV. You got all these damn rappers always showing off how much money they got. I got money. I get money. I get money. Yeah. I know you get money. I saw you on a picture of on the cover of a magazine with money, but you ain't built nothing. You're a financial version of a little boy. There's no industry that came out of what you're doing. There's no structure. There's no investment. There's no job creation. There's nothing. So what's the point? Who cares that you got money? Who cares how rich you are? And really, the truth is, we got to start really challenging and start talking about what maturity looks like. Part of the reason that the men don't grow up as much is because you have a lot of immature men that are taking the lead. Right. Even guys like a Snoop Dogg. I don't dislike Snoop Dogg, but unfortunately, Snoop Dogg has been reduced to a corporate clown. He goes out and he acts goofy and they like him because he's lovable. He's a jolly old man, kind of like a skinny Black Santa Claus. And that's why they love him. He tends to be featured with comedians and stuff like that because they like that. They like the idea of the Black man being a safe, little lovable, like cartoon character / like a little cuddly little doll that you can hug. Right. They don't like the idea of Black men being prepared, intelligent and dangerous and really competing. That idea is really a problem. Right. So, again, without disrespecting him, because I already have a little bit, I don't mean to, but it's the truth. At the end of the day, we've got to build a different kind of Black man, build a different kind of Black woman. So let me go through and kind of give you the final points on this. And then I'll give you the stock that I just bought in a second. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. If you are interested in learning about things like estate planning and legacy, that's really important. We have a legacy investors group, Dr. Boyce Lift. It stands for Legacy Investors for Tomorrow. So if you want to learn all about estate planning, preparing your wealth to be passed on in the future for the next generation, I put together a whole curriculum there. Feel free to go to drboycelift.com, and we meet once a month, and you guys can jump in and participate with that. Also, we do have a lot of programs for children in the Black Business School. So if you have a child and you want your child to learn cutting edge economic concepts at an early age, I can send you some free stuff. Just pull out your phone, text the word youth to the number 87948. Just text youth to 87948, and I'll send you some information about what kids can know. Because one thing people don't understand is that one big area where we can dominate economically is if we do something that other people don't do. If we really train our kids, like remember, Jewish people don't really send their kids to public schools for their primary learning. I remember when I used to go to this private school called Kentucky Country Day. I went there for a couple of years because I got a scholarship. We didn't have any money, but they let me in for free. It was like kind of one of those black kid scholarships. It was kind of a tough experience because I was the only black kid in the class and all that. But for 2 years, I went to this school. And I remember when I would get on the bus and we'd go to school and we'd come home, they would always stop at Hebrew school. And all my Jewish friends got off the bus at Hebrew school, and I didn't know what that was. I remember they were going, and this is where they were going to learn their culture. This is where they were going to an institution developed by their people to prepare them for what it meant to be a Jewish person in America. This was their preparation. And I said, man, I now that I look back at that, I'm really impressed by that. Right. And I would say, where's black people's equivalent to Hebrew school? Where are we doing powernomics training? When I was on the phone with Kanye West for 12 hours, it was unfortunately it ended up being a waste of time because Kanye needs help. He needs therapy. Kanye needs some medication. He's kind of the poor guy. He's kind of lost it. But I remember I said, come on, man, look, you got all this money. I don't know what you're doing with it. I don't see anything being built around it. You don't have the temperament to be a leader. I said, you need to take this money, give it to a board of people. I'll help you construct the board. I don't want a nickel of your money. I have enough money. And we will form powernomics training camps all around the country. We'll form a whole system of powernomics training camps where we will train millions of black youth on the basics of powernomics. You love Dr. Claude Anderson. I love Dr. Claude Anderson. That's why we're on the phone. And I will give you full credit. I said, I will fill your whole ego can be filled. You get all the credit. We can name it after your mama. How about that? We call them Donda centers or something, or Kanye Don, whatever you want. I don't give a damn. People don't even have to know I'm involved. I said, but you have the money. I saw his finances and I said, come on, man, let's do this. And unfortunately, it's like if someone's not raised on the right mindset, they just don't get it. So maybe Jaylen Brown with the Boston Celtics, I hear he's talking about a Black Wall Street. The implementation of systematic solutions that can help our people is easy. The implementation of a systematic process is not hard. This is not rocket science, people. Communities have done this for 100,000 years. Jewish people did this. They created something called Hollywood. They created the Hollywood system to create jobs for their people. And look at how much power they have right now. They created Hebrew schools everywhere. They go through the synagogues and they pull their money together. They'll buy your entire block, kick your black ass out of the neighborhood and tell you never to come back, and then raise the rent after you're gone. That's what they do. They don't care you've been there 30 years, 40 years. They don't care that your grandma been living there since the 60s. They don't care that you almost got shot because you was claiming the block that somebody else owned. They don't care about that. They'll come and they will buy your damn block, write you a check, tell you to get your black ass out of here and go live somewhere else. That's what they'll do. So what I'm telling you is that we can sit around and we can keep crying about how hard things are. We can keep crying about what other people are doing. We can get mad when other people are making moves. Or we got some people in the community who are ready to make moves. So Jaylen Brown, I like Jaylen Brown. I never met him. I know somebody that knows him. Maybe one day we'll meet. I like him because he's making moves. If you have a capital base with people that can make moves, that put the egos to the side, I think you can do something pretty amazing. So long story short, so the same idea I proposed to Kanye, I'd give it to Jaylen. I'd give it to him 100% for free. Maybe I'm not persuasive. Maybe I'm not a great bridge builder. Maybe I'm too much of an asshole to get people to listen. I have no idea, but I hope somebody listens. And I think that they should put together a nice little board of Negroes with no egos. Negroes with egos should be a no-go. That's what Dr. Ken Harris says. Negroes with egos is a no-go. Too many of these damn rappers, big ass egos. Too many damn athletes, big ass egos. Everybody wants the credit. Everybody wants to be the man. Stop trying to be the damn man and start trying to be a man. Stop trying to be the man and start being a man. Because if you are a man, you don't need to always be the man. If you are a man, then you know that I am a man, you are a man, everybody can be a man, and we can all sit together as a group of men and do something that one man can never do. So no, I never wanted to be King Kong consciousness. Then this was Umar. He's been using that term for 10, 15 years. I think it's crazy. It's weird. I never trying to be none of that. I'm trying to simply present ideas that will help us solve a serious problem, because at some point, we're going to have to decide that enough is enough. At some point, and some of y'all are already figuring it out. And the beauty of it is that this doesn't have to be a community-wide solution. You don't have to get out here and get everybody on board. You just need a few good men and a few good women, a couple people with deep pockets that are willing to invest in things. And I think you can do something pretty extraordinary, because we're so far behind. It's almost like a basketball game where you're so far behind that literally any change in your strategy will close the gap. Like, you're literally looking like the Kansas City Chiefs did in the third quarter of the Super Bowl when they played against the Eagles. Like, you're getting your ass kicked so bad, you might as well try the second string defensive back. You're getting beat so bad, you might as well give that running back a shot. You might as well. What have you got to lose? What have you got to lose? You can only go up from here, black people. Your wealth is dropping. You can only go up from here. So, long story short, if we don't learn the secrets of financial security, we're going to always be financially insecure. You're never financially secure when you have one stream of income. You're not as financially secure when you don't have family or a partner that provides another stream. You're not as financially secure when you don't know how to create your own job or find ways to make money in case you lose your job or your government contract or your DEI, whatever, at a corporation. You're not as financially secure if you don't have investments. You're not as financially secure if you don't own real estate. If you want to be financially secure, you own real estate, you own stocks, you got multiple streams of income from different businesses. You got your partner over here that's bringing in some money. You got the smart, educated kids that are bringing in money. And then over time, you're accumulating assets. At that point, it doesn't matter if Donald Trump is in office, Barack Obama's in office, or Mickey Mouse or Santa Claus is in office. You're going to be okay. Easy formula. This can be taught to a 7-year-old. What are the 7-year-olds learning? I saw a video of some black kindergartners that were doing sexy red videos in class. And that makes me very, very sad, because I think that there's more important things for the kids to learn other than sexy red. But let me stop sounding like an angry old man. I'm going to let y'all go. Let me give you the stock that I was going to mention earlier. This is the stock that I'm buying right now. And also, we'll talk more about stock stuff later. We're doing stock market class. And so the stock that I like right now is the ticker symbol is GPRE. GPRE. I don't have the name of the company in front of me now. I got to get the name of the company. I buy stock every day. That's just a habit I have. GPRE. It's I believe it was a pharmaceutical company. Let me see. I just looked it up in the analyst. Green Plains. It's a company called Green Plains. It's only $6.50 a share. It's down a little bit this year. It's actually down a lot this year. And the analysts, the majority of analysts seem to like it. And what they make is they engage in the production of fuel grade ethanol and corn oil. so I don't know much about the company, but there's a lot of analysts who believe the company could be in for a comeback. But this is not investing advice. Make sure you diversify. Don't put all your money in one place. So maybe just buy, if you wanted to jump in, I'm just going to buy a few shares and just own it. And now I'm officially in the corn oil production business. So hallelujah, in the words of Medea. So anyway, hope you guys have a great day. And later on today, we're going to do Stock Market Tuesday. If you'd like to join the Stock Market Investors Club, just go to drboycestockmarket.com. The URL's on the screen. You can do a free trial at drboycestockmarket.com. And also, we're going to do our Money in the Morning, our daily financial consciousness discussion, which is at 10 a.m. Eastern every single day. Over 10,000 of you have signed up. Hopefully a million of you will over time. Anybody's welcome. Bring your family. And you can get an invitation by texting the word morning, MORNING, to the phone number 87948. So text morning to 87948. I'll send you an invite. Have a wonderful day, everybody. God bless you. Thank you so much for listening. And thank you for putting up with me. I know sometimes I sound super angry, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but I don't give a damn. I don't know if y'all feel the same way, but when I see us losing, I get pissed. I don't know if anybody else agrees, but when I see us just scrambling and like some bug-eyed slaves, scared to death. Oh Lord Jesus, they done did it again, y'all. They coming to get us, y'all. They're coming to hurt us, y'all. What's this we gonna do, boss? Like I can't do that. I can't do the shuck and jive and buck dancing nonsense. It's not fun for me. I'm sorry, man. I was raised around men. I was raised around strong women. I was raised around people that plan and prepare. I'm not going to keep getting my butt whooped. Because I was asleep at the wheel, right? So if you're gonna get me, you're gonna have to really come get me. You're gonna have your head on the swivel, because you ain't gonna get me because I was just sitting around slipping. So don't let them catch you slipping. You'll have your financial security tight. Take care of yourself. You already take care of other people. You already invest. Like we were talking about the NFL, and I was explaining that Black people are the biggest investors on earth in the NFL. We invest in the NFL more than anybody else. Think about it. We don't put in money. We go out and get concussions for the NFL. We go out and get CTE for the NFL. You got kids dedicating their whole lives to the NFL, and with very little ROI. 99% of them don't even make it to the NFL and still dedicate their lives. So we are the biggest investors in the NFL. So then we got to ask that question: why do white people have all the money? Right? Why was that the blackest Super Bowl of all time? The one with Kendrick Lamar and all that, right? Why was that the blackest Super Bowl of all time? And everything was black except for the damn owner's box. Everything was black except the owner's box. The entertainment was black. The athletes were black, which is still part of the entertainment. You had a few black fans, mostly white fans, and mostly white people in the owner's box. And it's about how you position yourself. So don't call it a black suit, because you could find any plantation. I could go back 300 years and find a plantation that looks just like that. Where you got the owners sitting up on the porch sipping mint juleps, saying, "Hey boy, bring me another bourbon," right? And then you got the Negroes on the field playing some game. It probably wasn't football, it's probably something else. Where the biggest, blackest slaves were the ones who were able to win the game. Well, not the blackest, because you ain't got to be black to be a great athlete, but you get the point. The biggest, strongest slaves were the ones who were winning, and then they were watching for entertainment, watching us crack each other's heads open and enjoy. And then maybe there'd be some slaves that were dancing in the middle of the competition. Tell me I'm lying. Like that. So the NFL. I think LeBron actually said it, and I agree with him. He said the NFL's a plantation. Well, shit. I mean, it looks just like one. Only difference is on this plantation, it's not. The slavery is voluntary, and also there's more money floating around. Right? We do make money to be on the plantation, right? So let's not pretend like Kendrick and the athletes aren't getting paid. So that's a little bit better. But if you look at the price we pay for the NFL, like there's not a single owner of an NFL team that I know of who is now dealing with dementia at the age of 50 because they took too many hits to the head, right? There's not a single owner of an NFL or team who's ever gotten paralyzed on the job that I know of. There's not a single owner of an NFL team who can say, I've been playing this game since I was 5 years old, and my only dream was to get out of the hood so I can one day play for the Dallas Cowboys. Like, there's not one. So who invests more in the NFL than black people? Every single star in that game was black. Patrick Mahomes is black. Jalen Hurts is black. Chris Jones is black. Pacheco is black. Like you just keep saying, oh, maybe you throw in Taylor Swift's boyfriend. Okay, he's good, but he didn't do nothing. He was he was garbage. He looked like a tired old man, poor guy. But really, in all seriousness, though, without black people, you can't have that game. But all the money goes in the other direction. That's because the systems are not set up properly. That's because the financial consciousness is not where it needs to be. That's because we haven't thought through the process, right? So you have to have economic training for every black child in America at an early age, and it needs to come from a powernomics philosophy where you are positioning yourself in a place of power. You know who really understands that? I'm going to just tell you the truth. You know who gets it? Donald Trump. That's why Donald Trump was introducing his son Barron during his inauguration speech, because he's preparing him to run the world after his father is gone. So what are you preparing your kids for? Are you preparing to be Barron's employee? Because he'll be hiring Negroes in 40 years. I guarantee you. So anyway, I'm out of here, guys. Have a great day. God bless you. If you want to join us for class, text the word morning to the number 87948, or you can also go to drboyceelevate.com if you are in another country, and I'll also email you the invitation. So have a great day, everybody. God bless you. I'll see you soon. Peace.